Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing the science that we are using for my 8th grade son this coming year, and that is Apologia's Exploring Creation with Physical Science, the brand new 4th edition. So this book is hot off the press. It was just recently released, so he will be using this year for 8th grade. So I will be sharing the physical science textbook as well as the student notebook, and just a little disclaimer. You guys will hear it a lot as I share, but I love the notebooking journals and the student workbooks from Apologia. I think that they're amazing and really have encouraged that bridge toward independence in our homeschool. And then I'll also give you guys a peek inside the course guide and answer key if teaching science is something that concerns you, because it's definitely not my strongest subject as a mom, or at least some of these sciences like the physical science. So this has been immensely helpful for me. So the 4th edition of Physical Science is written from a biblical worldview, which is another component of Apologia Sciences that I absolutely love. I love what's being taught to my children. I love that the creation is woven in as fact to their science study. I think that's really incredibly helpful, and I love that it's coming from a biblical worldview. So with this curriculum, with the physical science course, they will study God's physical laws of creation through chemistry, physics, earth science, and science research topics. And then through the student notebook, they achieve mastery of subjects through daily comprehension questions, review, study guides, and complete tests. And something that I really like about this curriculum as well is it gives you an opportunity for advanced study. So you can adapt this to fit the needs of each individual student, so they can dive a little bit deeper and get a little bit more of a challenge if that's what they need. So you can adapt this to fit those needs in your household if you need to work on some more advanced concepts. And it also helps prepare them for the high school courses from Apologia. So this physical science is a good bridge between the middle school and the high school sciences. Those high school level sciences are written to be a college prep style course, which is great. It's a wonderful challenge for my older daughter who's in that right now. And I'm looking forward to my son using this curriculum this year and it helping guide him toward those more advanced sciences, so that he is not just jumping in at the deep end, so to speak. So it really helps create a solid foundation to prepare them for those higher level science courses. And just like the courses that are written for the elementary students, the quality of this curriculum is just top notch. The colors are bright, engaging. There's little information here and there, and they're all in different text boxes, and that has really helped keep my kids focused. They have enjoyed this curriculum because it is engaging. So I don't think you ever outgrow the need for what you're reading to be engaging. And so I just absolutely love the way that this is written, the way the notebooking journal is laid out. They do such a great job laying out the lesson plans for your students. So not only is there a lesson plan at the beginning, like an overview of what you should be doing each time you open the book, but then within the lessons in your notebooking journal as well as in your textbook, you're following that order without having to hop around all over the place. So your kids are able to stay on track. You're able to know exactly where they should be and what they should be doing, but you can also give them the opportunity to do it on their own without having to stand over their shoulder, which everyone knows if you've got a middle schooler or a high schooler, they don't necessarily want you managing their tasks 24/7. It's a good opportunity for them to start practicing that independence, and that's exactly what we do in our home. Apologia Science is the way that we encourage independent learning. It's their first step toward independence in our homeschool is using Apologia Science, and I think that one of the reasons that it is such an easy transition for us in our homeschool is because the lesson plans are laid out so well and laid out in multiple places, so they really can't go wrong. You really can't miss what you're supposed to be doing in each moment. So it is open and go. but there are also incredible hands-on experiments and activities as well. So they have a list for you to be prepared for all of those things that come up, which is really helpful for me as the parent because I'm not handing him or handing her their lesson every single day. It's nice that it gives you the opportunity to pull together all of the things that you'll need for each lesson ahead of time. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around, give you guys a peek inside all of these different elements here. And if you guys have any more questions, you can leave those in the comments below, or I will put a link in the description box for this particular science course so you can take a peek at it in depth on their website. All right, let's go ahead and take a peek inside Exploring Creation with Physical Science, brand new 4th edition. All right, so today I'm going to show you the textbook, the student notebook, as well as the course guide and answer key, which is amazing. And we're gonna go ahead and start with the textbook. So one of my favorite things about the Apologia textbooks are that they are so colorful and inviting. So for us, this has been a wonderful transition to independent learning because it's engaging. So when you first open the book, you're gonna have a course overview that gives you information about how many days per week and about how many, about how long each module should take you. It takes you through how to use the different components, the on your own questions, the study guide, and the information in the back, and any of the extras. Then you have your table of contents here, which breaks down each module. I believe there are 15 modules here. And then you have your welcome here to the course. So I love, of course, the scripture references. That is just something that I really enjoy being woven into my kids' curriculum, especially considering that it is a college prep style curriculum. So it's amazing that you can have the best of both worlds, so to speak. And again, we have really bright illustrations, reading sections that are broken down into smaller chunks, and different images and tables and helpful tools here. So another thing that I really enjoy is the fact that the experiments are broken down in the textbook as well as in the student notebook, and I'll show you that in a few minutes, but it is really helpful, especially when I have a student who is really learning those independent skills, the notebooking, the managing their courses on their own, and the experiments. It is really helpful that it's not just something they can overlook in one place. So I absolutely love that this experiment is also going to be listed in the student notebook, and as they're working through things, they're going to hit it at the same time as they're reading and in their notebook. So see what I mean about just these bright concepts and colors that are going on here in the curriculum. All right, so I'm going to take you through to a module here. Here's some on your own questions. Let's see, this is module 3. Some advanced concepts here, a creation connection. The creation connections are some of my favorite little blips that are written into the curriculum as well. Here's another experiment. And then you have some on your own questions, or answers to the on your own questions that you'll see throughout the book here. Then you have a study guide in here, the advanced concepts here, and then you're on to module 4. I love these you do science sections as well, just an additional option, and I do ask my kids to do as many of the you do science projects as they can, as far as the materials that we happen to have at home, or if they can look ahead and let me know if there's a couple things we need to grab. It's really helpful. But for example, we would definitely have plastic wrap, uncooked rice, and a large pot in our house, and a wooden spoon. So this would be one that would be simple for them to do, and it's just always helpful for them to get another hands-on lesson of what they are learning. toward the end of the book here, you have a complete lab supply list. So if you are not using a lab kit, this is really helpful to pull as many of these items ahead of time as possible and have them prepared ahead of time. I have noticed personally that if my kids are not able to complete a project, 9 times out of 10, or an experiment rather, 9 times out of 10, it is because I was not prepared with their materials, not because they didn't get around to it. So I hate when they have to wait on me. So I absolutely love that this is all listed individually so that you can be as prepared as possible. And you have an index back here. Oh, here we go. Here's the glossary. That's what I was looking for. Physical science research, glossary, an appendix, lab report, and the supply list. So that is a little peek inside of the textbook. Now, to go along with this, I definitely recommend the student notebook. And the student notebook is amazing as kids are managing their own course here. So you have some note-taking tips. This is really cool. At the beginning of every module, there is a tip for taking better notes, and this is just a way for your student to learn how to be a good note taker. So as they are going through each module, there's a different tip at the beginning of every single module, so they can just kind of expand their understanding and abilities with note-taking as they go through the course. So it's like a little bonus woven in to their curriculum. Here is an additional little mini course on note-taking. So I would definitely recommend as a parent reading through all of this as well as your child. This is my favorite part of the Apologia notebooking journals, and it has always been my favorite part. The fact that there is a suggested daily schedule. This takes all of the guesswork out for me, and I just have my kids go right along with how this schedule is laid out. It's really helpful as well because, as you'll see here, let's just pick a random day. Let's say week 8. So module 4 will go day 2. So then when you go into module 4 here in the notebook and you go to week 8, day 2, you're gonna have the exact same thing written here. Read text 121 through 125. Student notebooking pages 81 through 85. Take notes. Write the definitions. Answer on your own questions 4.3 through 4.5. That's right there. And then check this off on your daily schedule. So then go back here and check it off. You're getting the same information here that you're getting here, and then as you read through the textbook, you're gonna come across the same, you know, say there's an experiment here on this day, week 9, day 2. As you're reading through, you're gonna come up to the experiment in this textbook. So it is really helpful for an older student, you know, 8th grader, 9th grader, to manage their course with you monitoring, but not having to lay out their work for them every single day. It is so helpful that what's listed here is what's listed here and is also along the same lines as what they're coming across here. So they're getting the same thing in many places, which is very, very helpful for them managing their course. So there's that. You have this whole thing broken down for you so you can keep up with what they're supposed to do. I regularly check their work, so I'll come up here on this day and I'll see what they're supposed to do, and then I know exactly what pages to check in the textbook, make sure they've read their stuff, look through their work, and I know what's coming up, what experiments are coming up, or what they were supposed to have completed on their own. And so it's a quick little check-in, little touch at the end of every lesson. Now, the first half of the textbook is going to be their notes and the comprehension. So you have here, let's see, Oh, there's also a grade chart here as well. So let's go again, we'll go to module 7. So we'll go to module 7 and you have, there's the note-taking tip for the day. Images, charts, graphs, and graphics. Often there's lots of information packed in those graphics. That's why it is important to study all the images, read the captions, and relate the information in the graphics to what is written in the surrounding paragraphs. Be sure to include any key information in the graphics or captions in your notes. So that's something that they might easily overlook, right? They're just reading through their book, they look past a picture here, and they just kind of read around it and don't think about that being information that they should pay attention to. So it's helpful that it's turned their attention toward that and said, hey, include that in your notes as well. So as I mentioned, the first half of the book is going to be note-taking and comprehension. So these are things they're going to be coming across in the curriculum. They've got vocabulary here, the on your own questions, which also have answers listed throughout the curriculum, so both in the book as well as in the course guide for parents to look through. Charts, graphs, lots of comprehension here. And again, the detail. Like, look at this detail. Is this necessary? No. Is it incredibly helpful for students to stay on track, to have interesting images and engaging colors and content? Absolutely. So this is really cool, valuable notebooking journal to have. Lots of images, so explain this here. Okay, so again, first half is vocabulary, comprehension, note-taking. Second half of the book, we'll go to module 7 over here. These are the labs and the experiments. So here, module 7, here's the experiment page here. Places for them to record data. Conclusion from the experiment, the second experiment in the module here, procedures, observations, third experiment, and their formal lab report before it moves on to module 8. So there's a place in here to keep it all organized. Observations and experiments in one half of the book, note-taking, vocabulary, comprehension in the first half of the book. Very, very helpful. And then in the back, you have extra pages to take any additional notes that they would like to take. So that is a peek inside the student notebook. And then last but not least, this course guide and answer key is very helpful, especially considering that physical science is not my personal strong suit, and I definitely had to sit down and go through detailed notes with my daughter when she was doing this course just to make sure that I even understood any issues she was running into. If she came up to, say, an equation and I had no idea how she got there, something like this is very helpful in that setting. So you have the answers to the study guide here, which the study guides are very helpful either to use as like a pre-test or for me to just see where she's at or where he's at. We use physical science for my daughter. My son's the one using it this year. So it just helps you kind of get a gauge on where things are at, if you need to study more, and then you can actually take the test. So there's a study guide that they come up to first and then the test after. But not only do they give you the answers to the study guide and to the test, but they also give you the answers here for what you should generally expect in the on your own questions and in all of the little places for note-taking in their notebooking journal. So you can really back it up to the beginning and see the whole process of how your kids are taking notes, what they're understanding, all of the comprehension you can see in here before you get to this point of the study guide, and then especially before you get to the answers to the test. So you can go back through the entire student notebook with your student and see how they're comprehending everything. So that goes all the way through all 15 modules. So this is an invaluable tool for you as the parent. It also gives you the overview, the components of the course, again, some of the same information that was in the other sections of the books, note-taking tips, note-taking prompts on your own questions, just how all of this works. Resources, lab reports, and the grading rubrics here. So that is a peek inside and my first impressions and opinion of the 4th edition, the new 4th edition of Exploring Creation with Physical Science. If you guys have any questions about any of this, make sure you leave them in the comments down below. I will link all of this for you in the description box if you would like to check it out. And I will see you guys soon. Bye. Thank you, Apologia, for partnering with me on today's video.